All right, y'all. So today we're talking about 5 habits that keep me lean year round. All right, and the most important things when it comes to actually staying lean are gonna be mindset, right? So a lot of these habits are gonna have to relate with mindset because your mindset is gonna dictate what you do. You can't have negative thoughts and positive actions. It's not gonna fucking happen. All right, that's number one. Number two, it's also perspective shifting. That's very, very important as well. Those two things are important. So a lot of my habits are gonna relate to that. So the first most important habit, I know you guys seen it on the vlog, is gonna be just reading, right? Reading will change everything, right? The reason reading changes everything is because it shifts how you think about certain things. All right, you're gonna think about failure differently. Like when you read, when you read Napoleon Hill, when you start reading really, really good books, Myron Golden, you read some Jim Rohn, some Zig Ziglar, right? That's really gonna shift your mindset on certain things, right? You're gonna look at failure differently. I specifically always say failure because that's something we all fear. We all fear failure to the point where it's like when we fail, we're like, oh shit, it's over, we gotta quit. That's where most people fail on their journey. They fail once. Failing is not an issue. It's not continuing past that failure. But you won't know that shit unless you're reading. So reading books with good principles like the Bible, if you're Muslim, the Quran, even reading Buddhist principles, all of those principles have to do with being patient and delaying gratification, and they change your mindset on everything because it changes. We all want instant gratification. Those books will help you realize how important it is to be patient and what patience actually means, right? What delaying gratification actually means and why you delay gratification in the first place. It's not because you're getting punished. It's because success just takes time, all right? Very, very, very important. Number two is going to be listening to podcasts, positive motivation, things like that. Like I said, man, you listen to some Zig Ziglar, some Les Brown, bro, that shit's going to keep you locked in mentally. It's going to keep you locked in mentally. All right, that is like, once you're locked in mentally, doing the do is going to be easier. Here's the thing, when you're locked in mentally, it's going to be easier for you to do the things that you don't want to do, right? Until you get to the point where it's second nature. So like working out, I know a lot of people, they don't like working out, they don't like eating what they need to, but you start listening to David Goggins, Zig Ziglar, and how far they go on their journey, and some Les Brown, and you're like, damn, bro, I'm really not struggling as hard. I really haven't had as much adversity as them, and I'm complaining for no reason, all right? You feel like you're complaining for no reason. You're like, I need to execute. I need to take this more seriously because I haven't really been through any adversity. I'm just making excuses for myself for no reason, right? And everything I want is on the other side of excuses. Those 30 minutes of motivation a day, or, if you have to do it every other day, or maybe you have a period of time where you're going through a hard month, so you have to listen to it every single day, that shit is going to take it to the next level, all right? So the Myron Goldens, the Jim Rohns, just listening to that, Jeff Lowe's, that's going to change your mindset. And like I said, once you change your mindset, your physique is going to follow as well. Like, you're going to be leaner, you're going to look different, right? Because you're going to be able to execute what you always wanted to execute. We all know what to do as far as fitness and nutrition. We all know what to do. However, we don't do it because our mindset is not on point, all right? So that was number two. Number three, of course, is going to be high protein calorie deficit. We all know that. But high protein foods in general, like the way I shop, right? The way I shop is completely different now than it used to be, right? Like, I get a lot of lean meats, non-fat dairy, eat a lot of eggs. And then as far as snacking, I get a lot of protein supplements. Protein supplements are pretty much a cheat code. Like, they have protein cookies, protein muffins, protein chips. So if you're craving any of those things, you could just put them in the corner of the cupboard, right? And then if you're ever really craving one of those things, you just eat that instead of eating the actual chips. Like, for example, a bag of Quest chips is 140 calories, 20 grams of protein, right? 19 to 20 depending on the flavor you get. Versus eating actual chips. If you eat actual chips, first of all, there is no bag with that little amount of chips in it or that much protein in it. So you're gonna end up eating way over and going away from your fitness goals, all right? So that shit makes a big difference. Another thing that makes a big difference, like I said, protein supplements, bro, protein shakes, the flavored ones, the Premier Protein, I mean, it's insane. Honestly, here in Thailand, they don't have a lot of good flavored protein shakes. So I personally think it's easier to stay lean in America just because of that. Like, the protein shakes taste way better. They have way more protein supplements and stuff like that. But it's so important that you supplement so you can have just snacking in between. Like, picking the right snacks can dictate whether or not you stick to your nutrition. And once you stick to your nutrition, it becomes habit. But if you don't stick to your nutrition, you yo-yo over and over and over again. All right, that's number three. Number four, of course, is going to be strength training. Staying lean means high muscle, low body fat. People need to understand that. High muscle, low body fat. It doesn't mean, low muscle, low body fat. That's not what it means. Staying lean is high muscle, low body fat. How do you get high muscle? You strength train. When you strength train, you build muscle. When you're building muscle, you are literally speeding up your metabolism, because that's gonna help you burn fat at rest. I can't stress that enough, all right? It's such a big deal, everybody ignores it. It's gonna help you burn fat at rest. When you're burning fat at rest, right, it's like, it makes everything easier, all right? Because you can eat more calories, right? Not like 1,000 more calories, but you can eat a little bit more calories. And then also, when you're actually doing what you need to do in the kitchen, doing what you need to do in the gym, eating high protein and working out and seeing results, it just encourages you, and then it becomes your identity, all right? It really just becomes your identity, all right? And then number 5 is I guess you could call it a habit, but it's really like more related to self-awareness, and that's just monitoring not only your thoughts but also your environment, right? So if you have a friend, if you tell your friend like, yeah man, I'm serious about it this time, I'm trying to lose 30 pounds of fat, in the next 6 months, and I'm actually gonna quit, I'm gonna quit coming to Five Guys with you, man. This is the last time. If they laugh at you and they're like, man nigga, you ain't serious, and they keep discouraging you, cut them out your life, man, because the people that you're interacting with every day, if they don't align with their goals, they're taking away from your goals, all right? It's not like, nah, I knew him for 10 years, I knew him for 5 years, fuck that shit, all right? If they don't support your goals, cut them off, because they're not gonna help you get to your goals. If you're serious about your goals, you're gonna do everything you can to get to them, right? So if you're serious about your goals and everyone around you is making fun of your goals, why are you hanging out with them, right? Because if you really want the goals, if you really, really, really want to reach those goals, and you're serious about them, and you wrote them down, and you're locked in, and it would change your life, and it would make you feel so much better. But these people are making fun of you, and you call them your friends. They're not your fucking friends, man. Like, come on, bro. Y'all need to stop hanging around people who are hating on you, giving you these backhanded compliments and shit, and you're calling them friends, man. So those are the 5 very simple things that keep me lean. A lot of it's mindset, like I said, because at the end of the day, you can have a perfect plan. You can have, I'm taking creatine, nobody fucking cares. Are you executing on a daily basis? Are you executing nutrition on a daily basis? Come on now.